Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to share with you this node tree that turns any polygon into sausage. So basically, this was taking advantage of mesh to curve node, which basically practically turning polygon into polygon edge. In this case, we have icosphere, and I can change this to cube. Now we have like a kind of like a sausage structure that we can change, and there's also the cone. So with the cone we can create like a balloony looking or like sausage looking spider web. So this is pretty handy, and I actually started with a just mesh circle. So let's take a look what's going on. So mesh circle is polygon mesh to curve, turning it into polygon edge. But then I can actually, this one is already becoming a curve, and with a curve you can turn off cyclic. If you turn off cyclic, you can then play around with the trim curve, so you can trim the sausage. So that's one of the advantage. And then you can actually, I don't need this cyclic. Okay, the cyclic doesn't quite work, and I can do the resampling. This resampling probably is better as length, and I can play around with this value. And then this, I'm using curves to mesh to solidify the curve. Take a look at the polygon mesh resolutions. We can control it here. And then I set material. This is the sausage material, and then set the shade smooth. I actually use subdivision over here. Without subdivision, it's just gonna be like a box shape because of this. But I like it like looking like a sausage, so I use the subdivision. So back to what we have before, we can go back to icosphere. And play with this trim curve length. Maybe turn on ambient occlusions as well, so we have like a sausage. Of course, you can bring in your own mesh. Maybe plug this in. This should, yeah, it should work. Yeah, it's like a balloony looking result. But yeah, it looks like a balloon, but it's like also like a sausage. And you can control the radius here. So this is curve that has been scaled. Oh, this is too thin. Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to use, node setup, easy to create. But it's, yeah, again, it's taking advantage of this mesh to curve, which this is super handy. I don't know why we need to use cyclic in order to use trim curve, but that's just the way it works. So I like to be able to do this, even though we don't need to use this anyway. I'm just gonna show you that. So that's basically it. It's a balloony setup. Maybe useful at some point, but I think it has something that you can play around with. You can try remeshing. So when you do the remeshing, it affects the output geometry from these geometry nodes. But you can try using other mesh primitive, like maybe UV sphere or cylinder, grid. And still, Suzanne one is the most interesting. All right, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.